Hello everyone, welcome back. In this video we are going to learn how to create this Facebook reaction animation. So let me give you a small demo. So we have this like button, and when I hover over it you will see that it scales up, and when I click on it it'll basically show you one pop-up which will have these reactions, and when you hover over any reaction it scales up. So let's click on any reaction. Let's see, if I click on this you'll see the reactions are getting updated over here. If you click on any other reaction, let's say this laughing one, you see the reactions are getting populated over here. So this animation we are going to create in this video using React and Framer motion. So Framer motion is one of the popular library which is used for adding interactive design and animation. So let's see how we can use Framer motion in React and make this cool animation. So let's start with this. So let me close everything and let's open the terminal, and in terminal you can create one folder. So right now I'm in the desktop folder, so inside this folder I'm going to create one folder. So you can write mkdir and you can give the folder name. So in my case, let's say I'm going to give fb reactions yt. Now you can go inside this folder and let's install React inside this. So you can write npx create React app and then dot. So this line, what it will do is it will install all the React libraries inside this folder. So let's press enter. So it's going to take about 1 to 2 minutes, so wait for that time. Okay, so React libraries are properly installed. So now what you can do is you can write code and then dot. So it'll open up the VS Code editor with the folder that you created in which you have the React libraries. So let's open this. Now what you can do is you can open up the terminal. You can press Ctrl J. It will open up the terminal in the VS Code, and here what you can do is you can start up the server. So you can write npm start. So this command will start up the server. So let's wait for some time. Okay, so our server is started. Now you can go to browser, and as you can see we have this template project that got created. So let's delete everything which we have inside the app.js file. So you can go to app.js and let's delete everything which we have here. So yeah, from here to here you can delete everything, and let's create one component. So inside this I'm going to show one component. Its name will be, let's say, fb reactions. Let's save it. So for now we don't have this component. So what I'm going to do is let's create one folder inside src. You can give it name components. So inside this we are going to create all our components. So inside this I'm going to create one file which name will be fbreactions.js. Now inside this you can create the functional component. So I have this installed. So I have this extension installed which you can use as a snippet. So you can write RAFCE, and when you press tab it will automatically create functional component for you. So if you don't have this extension installed, what you can do is you can go to extensions tab and you can search for ES7 React. You can write ES7 and then React. So yeah, this one, ES7 plus React Redux. So you can install it, and then you can easily create functional component by just writing some shortcuts. So now inside this what I'm going to do is I'm going to create one button, and inside this button we will have the text like, and then along with this text we are going to add image of the like icon. So let's create one image tag. So for now we are not going to keep src because we don't have images yet. So let me find out the folder. So let me check. I've kept the assets folder. I'll be sharing the assets folder link with you, so you can download the assets from there. Let me check. Okay, so I have this assets folder in which I have all these reactions images that I'm going to use in this project. So I'll be sharing this link in the description. You can download all these and you can use it in your project as well. So let me just copy this folder and paste it here inside our project. So our project is let me check. I created this in D drive or desktop. I don't remember. Okay, so my project was in desktop, and yeah, its name was fb reactions yt. So inside this Inside src I'm gonna just simply paste this folder. So our assets folder have been now created in this React project. So you can simply just import the icon. So you can write import like icon from, and then you can write dot dot slash and then assets folder slash. So the name of picture is like icon dot png. You can just confirm it. You can check inside the assets folder that okay, so this is the like icon.png, so the name is correct. Now you can use it. So you can write src equals to curly braces and then you can write the name of this, which is like icon. So let me just save it and let's see whether we are able to see it on the browser. So we are getting some error. So fb reactions is not loaded here. So what you can do is you can write import and then fb reactions. So we have created this component inside the component folder. So you can write dot slash and then components and then fb reactions. So let's save it. Now you will be able to see the button with the text like and this icon. So right now icon is very big. So what you can do is you can go to the component back and here you can provide the width equals to, let's say 15. Now save it and let's see. So yeah, now button is looking good. So let me give some padding to it as well, so to make it look better. So you can provide class name and its name will be like button. So you can go inside the app css file and here let me just delete all the css which we had initially when we created the React project. So inside this I'm first of all going to give this 100 vh height and width as 100% and display, let's say flex. Okay, now inside this I'm going to create like button class. In this I'm going to provide padding, let's say 10 pixels, and I'm going to provide width, let's say 200 pixels, height, let's say 60 pixels, background would be white, box shadow. So box shadow will be let's say 3 pixels on the x offset, 3 pixels on the y offset, and then let's say 30 pixels blur and RGBA 0, 10, 10, let's say 0.2 opacity. So we want the border, we don't want any border, so you can write border none. Let's just save it and let's see how this is looking in the here. So I've given something wrong, let me check. So I haven't given the semicolon, that is why I was getting the error. Now let's save it and let's see how our button is looking right now. So okay, so I provided the class name to the wrong component actually. So we want to provide this to button actually, sorry. So yeah, you can provide the class name to this button, and now let's see how our button is looking. So yeah, we have got this shadow and we have got this button. So after this you can also give some space. Right now our icon and text is looking very tight, so you can write end and BSP, so it'll automatically add some space between this. So as you can see, we got this space. We also want border radius of this button to be let's say 20 pixels. Let's save it and let's see. So yeah, we have got this cool looking border. Let's give it 50 pixels. I think that'll look much more nicer. Yeah, now let's make this button at the center. So what you can do is you can go to FB reactions and let's give some class to this as well. So this will be the parent div. Let's provide CSS for this div. So you can write dot parent div and its width will be 100%, height will be 100%, and we want it to be display flex. Flex direction would be column, and we want everything in the center. So you can write justify content and then center. You can also write align item center. So let's see how it is looking right now. So as you can see, we have got this button at the center. Now let's add animation to this button. So in the previous demo, you like saw, like when I was hovering over this button, like it is basically scaling up, you know, with a ease in out animation. So let's make this. Also, our button is quite small. You can make this small, it's your wish. Like big is also looking nice, so you know, it's your wish. So let's install Framer motion to add the animation. So what you can do is you can add one more terminal over here, and let's install the Framer motion. So you can write npm install and then Framer motion. So it's going to take around 1 minute or maybe less. So let's wait for some time. I'll be back in a minute. Okay, so I'm back and the Framer motion is properly installed. So now what you can do is you can go to FB Reactions.js file and let's import the motion component from the Framer motion library. So you can write import curly braces and then from Framer motion. So from this library, we want to import the motion component. So the benefit of this is like you can use any element along with like motion component. So you can simply write motion dot button. You can also write motion dot button here as well, like along with image as well. You can use the motion dot. So basically if you are, you know, using motion, you can add it to any element. Okay, you can add it to this div as well. You can write motion dot div. So the benefit of using motion is that like when you have added this motion dot with any element, like you can use some extra properties in this division or in this button, which will be basically helping you to add animation. So let's see, like let's add animation to this button. So we have this property like while hover in motion framer library. So let's write while hover and then equal to and then double curly braces, and you can write like when this button is hover, I want to scale it 1.2 times. So let's save it and let's see whether our animation is working or not. So let's go to a React application and oh, 1 minute. Is my server compiled? Okay, so it's taking some time. My server is not compiled yet. It's taking too much time. Okay, so yeah, server is compiled and let's see whether animation is working or not. So as you can see, when I hover over this button, the button is getting scaled up and we are seeing this animation. Okay, so the first task is complete. Now let's do the second task. So in the second task, we want like when this button is clicked, I want the pop-up, just like in the previous demo. Like when I click on this, you see this pop-up comes and we have these all different reactions. So let's make this first. So what you can do is you can create one more div over here. So you can write motion motion dot div. So this div will be our pop-up, and inside this div we want to have one class, let's say reactions holder. So let me just define styles for this division first. So let's go to app css file and write dot and then the class name, and we want this to be display flex. So yeah, now you can go to fp reactions.js file, and inside this division what I want to do is I want to add all these different reactions which you saw in the demo. So let's do that. So you can write import. So we have already got this assets folder. In this we have all the reactions pictures. So let's import all these pictures here. So you can write import angry from dot assets slash angry dot svg. Let me just copy paste it several times and change the file name to save my time. So second file is related to the laughing icon. So you can write import laughing from assets folder. Inside assets we have laughing.svg. Similarly we have like a reaction, so you can write import like, and then we have import sad, and then we have soaked icon. You can write import soaked. inside assets folder we have soak.svg. Now the last reaction remaining is this one. So yeah, let me choose do just fast. Okay, now save it. Now what you can do is you can have 6 images over here, so you can write img and then source. So let me just copy paste it 6 times, and in the first, let's say I want the like reaction, next let's say love reaction, next angry, and then sad one, and then soaked one, and then lastly which one is remaining? Laughing one is remaining. Okay, now let's save it and let's see how it is looking right now here. So server is not compiled yet. Let me just see it. It's not coming what it is saying. Let me just refresh it. I don't know, sometimes SVGs don't work the way you expect it to. I'm not sure. Let me just inspect it. My SVGs are not coming. Let me just inspect it. Like, I got this issue when I was working earlier as well. Sometimes SVGs, they don't show up in the React project. Let me just check. Okay everyone, I'm back. So I found the issue. Like, I'm not sure about the issue. Like, I just changed this, so I've added this alt tag because I was getting this warning like you haven't added the alt in the image tag, although it is not although it's not compulsory. Also, like if I give width to every image, then it's visible. If I'm excluding the width, then I was not able to see the image. I mean, this is a very strange issue, but still, if you're facing this issue, you can simply just provide the width to all the SVG's reactions, and you can check out if the images are coming or not. Also, if anyone knows why I was getting this error, you can let me know in the comment section. I would love to know. So you can just change this. So earlier we didn't have this alt prop and width, so you can add this to all the reactions. So now in the client side, you will be able to see all the reactions. Now what we want to do is we want to add the animation, like when it is hovered, so we want to scale it. So let's do that. So what you can do is you can add motion to all the images like this. So yeah, I think I should have done this earlier because it's going to take time. So yeah, so you can write motion dot. Okay, cool. Now you will be able to add the animation. So you will be able to write while hover, and I want it to be scaling with, let's say, 1.5 times. So you can just simply copy it and paste it in all the images. So let's go to this image as well and paste it over here, and then paste it over here. Okay, cool. Now let's save it and let's see whether our animation is working or not. So if I go back and let's see. So as you can see, when I hover over it, we are able to see all the reactions are getting scaled up with a beautiful animation. Let's give some spacing between these reactions. It's not looking good. So right now the spacing is very less between all these reactions. So what you can do is you can give some styling. So yeah, let's give style here. So you can write margin right, let's say 10 pixels, I think would be sufficient. Let me just save it and let's check how much it is. So yeah, 10 will be I think very much high, so you can provide 8. Let me just simply copy it and paste it to all the images. Or otherwise, I think there's one more shortcut. So what you can do is you can go to app CSS file, and you can just simply write here space between, sorry, justify content, and I think space around will work fine. Not sure, let's see. Still there's no space. Okay, so what you can do is you can write a dot reactions holder, and with every image I want to have margin right as 10 pixels, simple, or let's say 8 pixels. So now this will work, I think. Yeah, cool. Now it is looking good. So let me just do one more thing as well. Like you can give the same shadow to this which we used here. So you can just simply copy it and just paste it over here. So the background will be white and box shadow will be this much. Let's see how it is looking right now. Yeah, so let's give some padding to it as well. So you can write padding and then 20 pixels or maybe 10 pixels would be fine. Yeah, let's give some border radius as well. So you can write border radius and then 60 pixels maybe. Yeah, that'll look nice. Okay, cool. Let's provide width auto. Yeah, cool. Now what you can do is you can provide some margin to it as well, like margin top. Let's say I want it 20 pixels above from the like button. Sorry, not margin top, actually margin bottom. Yeah, cool. So as you can see now it's looking much more nicer. So now what we want to do is initially we want it to be invisible, right? And when I click on this button I want this pop-up to be visible, right? Okay, before that let me just slightly increase the padding. 15 would look nice, I think. Let's see. Yeah, cool. So let's do this. So what you can do is let's go back to FB reactions, and so in motion library we have this variants property. Inside this variants you can create different styling. So let me create that first. So you can write const and then list. So inside this list we are going to create our variants. So the first name will be visible. So like when the component is visible, I want this to have this much styling. So I want opacity to be 1, and I want to create one more variant. So its name will be hidden. So for hidden I want opacity to be 0. Cool. Now what you can do is you can go to this reactions holder, and here you can provide variants, and inside this you can provide your variants list. And now we want to provide the animate function, and we want to write like when the button is clicked, we want it to have the visible variant. Otherwise we want it to be have hidden variant. Okay, cool. So right now it will show me one error, like I haven't declared this. Sorry, first of all let's remove this error. So here it will be colon, and we haven't declared this button clicked state. So let's first declare that. So you can write after react. So we will be using use state to create the state. So you can write use state. Now after this let's create a state. So you can write const and then button clicked, set button clicked, and then use state. So initially it will be false. So we want this state to be true when the button is clicked. So you can go here inside this button you can add one more property, like when this is click, I want to change the state of set button clicked to true. Cool. So with this way you will be able to see this pop-up only when the button is clicked. So let's see whether it is working or not. So initially as you can see the pop-up is not visible. Now when I click on this, like our pop-up is visible, right? Now I want, like when the picture is clicked, this pop-up should be invisible, right? Or when I click outside as well, this pop-up should go away. So let's just do that. So first let's do this, like when I click on any image, our pop-up should become invisible. So it is very simple. What you can do is you can add on click to each image element, and you can simply write function which will basically set button click to false. Very simple. So you can just simply copy it and add it to all the image elements. So just like this you can add it to all the image elements. Now let's see whether it is working or not. Yeah, so if I click on any image, as you can see the pop-up is getting disappeared. So that is amazing, right? So let's do one more thing as well, like when I click outside, we want this to go. Like right now it's only going when I click on, you know, the pop-up, otherwise it's not going, right? So what you can do is you can attach here as well the on click function. So you can simply write on click, and then I want simply to just, you know, set button clicked to be false. So here you can write one condition, like I only want this to work when the state is true. Okay, otherwise it will be, you know, doing it again and again. So you can write button clicked is true, then only I want to do this, right? So let's see whether it is working or not. So if I click on this and if I click outside, as you can see, our pop-up is getting disappeared. So that is amazing, right? Now we want to do one more thing as well. Like in the previous demo, you will see, like when I click on this, you see this, you know, delay. Like when I click on this, you see like first the elements, first the children go away, and then the pop-up disappears. So I want that animation as well. So how to do it? So it's very simple. You can simply go to your variants list and you can provide here transition property, and sorry, spelling is wrong. Transition, and inside this you can write when, and I want this to be before children. So let me check. I think this will work. I'm not sure. I mean, before children or after children, you can experiment with that. So let me just check. So if I click on this, no. Let me just simply copy it as well. I mean, you can experiment with these properties. You can just simply take it and you can write it here as well. Let me just check which one is working. I mean, I experimented with these properties. Okay, cool. So let me just write this after children. Maybe that will work. Like I, you know, reached with this animation through experimenting, I'll honestly say. So let me just check. It's still not working. So it will be, I think, after. Okay, there's one more property, I think that will work. So we have this stagger children. You can write 0.2. Let me just check. I think that will work. Okay, it's still not working. Okay, you can go to Framer motion library. Let me just check. So you can go to Framer motion docs, and we have this stagger property which basically adds a delay. So let me just check it. I mean, so we just left with this only. So you can go to documentation as well. So let me just check. So you can go to this transition documentation, where it is. Transition delay children. I think this will work. Let's see. I'm not sure. Let's just experiment and let's see. So yeah, delay children 0.5. So let's see. So still it's not having that effect. Okay, so I found this properties, like you can use this stagger children. I think that should work. I mean, I've used this stagger children. Okay, let's do one more thing as well. Like when it is visible, sorry, when it is going to hide, I want it to scale 0.2 or maybe 0.6. So let's see how this animation is looking. So you can go back and inside this reaction, let me check. So yeah, somewhat we got that animation. So yeah, I'll leave you with this. You know, you can experiment with all these different kind of animations and you can make it according to the way you want it to. So like we have done, you know, so much, like we have done like a very good job so far. I mean, you can do and add much more animations as well. Like I made this animation just by experimenting only, and I think it is the best way to learn whenever you are building something. So you can go and, you know, check out this Framer motion library and you can try out different properties that you're seeing over here and experiment it. Okay, then you will be able to understand what each property is doing. So that's the best way of learning, I think, as well. So yeah, in this video I hope you learned something, you know, valuable, and I hope you you know, you're liking the videos that I'm making. So you know, you can share this video if you liked it, and also you can subscribe it. So yeah, thanks, and let's see you in the next video. Okay, thanks.